My name is Brian. I'm an instructor here at Free Flight Aviation, and I'm about to show you all around the Piper Warrior here. So we'll get started right here at the propeller right here. So right now you can see it's a 2-blade propeller right here, spins counterclockwise. It's how we generate our thrust, how we get the plane moving. Right behind these 2 little red plugs right there, that's where our engine sits. It is 320 cubic inches, 160 horsepower, and it has 4 engine cylinders. And that's what keeps this puppy moving in the air, keeps us climbing, and gets us flying through the air where we want to go. So over on the side right here, I'll show you this really small little inlet right here. This is actually our fuel sump. You can kind of see if I pull up on it, you can see it starts to leak out some fuel. This is where we sample the fuel to test and make sure that all the fuel is what kind of fuel we need and make sure there's no water or anything in the tanks. Right here, there's also the fuel tank right here. We can open up this little notch right here, take a look at the tanks inside there. We've got these tie downs here to make sure the plane doesn't go anywhere. Right below here, we have our pitot heat. Right there, it's covered by a tennis ball right there. What that's supposed to do is give us our airspeed indication, gives us our altitude and our vertical speed as well. It's a really critical instrument that we need in flight at all times. Right here, we got our lights right here, pretty standard. They just light the way and tell other aircraft where we are. This right here is our aileron. Now what this does is helps us roll around our roll axis right here, and yep, we make sure that they're all completely free and correct. The controls here, we get full deflection of the aileron. This right here is our flaps. These help come down for a descent whenever we're getting ready to land down at our destination. This right here, whole part, this is the tail. This part right here is the horizontal stabilizer, and this part over here is the elevator. This helps us pitch up and down for climbs and descents. This right here is the rudder. Now this controls our directional control around the aircraft, helps kind of control our yaw axis, helps us get pointed in whatever direction we need to go. And right around here, we have the other side of the body here. We have a baggage door right there, and we have the cabin door right there. And we're gonna open that up and we're gonna show you what's inside. So this right here is where the magic happens. So right here, we call this the yoke. Now what this does is it controls both our pitch and our roll. We can turn it side to side, push it forward and backward. This is how we manipulate the co-orientation of the flight path right there. Up here, we have our attitude indicator. It's kind of like an artificial horizon. It tells us if we're climbing or descending, and it tells us the degrees at which we're banking. Right here we have our airspeed indicator. Works just like the speedometer in your car, tells you how fast you're going. Over here we have our altimeter, which tells us exactly how high we are. It kind of reads like a clock. Down here we have our vertical speed indicator, and this tells us if we are climbing or descending and the rate at which we are doing so. Actually, when you're at altitude, it's a little difficult to tell if you're climbing or descending sometimes, so it works out to be a really handy instrument right there. And obviously this right here is our heading indicator. It works similarly to a compass. And lastly, this right here is our turn coordinator. It tells us the quality of our turn and the standard rate at which we are turning. And down here, can't forget the rudder pedals. Most important part of the plane right here. Now this is what kind of helps us turn the aircraft, and we begin to turn left or right to adjust the yaw, as you saw when we were going around the aircraft. That's just the very beginning of all there is to know about the Piper Warrior. If you're interested in learning more, come on down to Free Flight Aviation down at the Flying W Airport and come fly with me. I'd love to do it.